Good evening, planetary life force ejaculates, and welcome to the Maggot Has Nothing Better to Do show. Tonight our guest is the legendary inventor of the only diet plan proven to actually work, ever, for all known races and all known body types. He needs no introduction due to the fact that syndicated news organizations jump on irrelevant cultural icons like Catholic priests on a choir boy, but for those of you who know better than to watch the Lear and Fox network, his name is Gurkhan Pulgnitz. Welcome to the show, Gurkhan.
Yeah, have I mentioned how pissed off this media bullshit has made me?
I can imagine, seeing as how they're putting Gurkhan diet-approved logos on everything from protein bars to breakfast cereals, which is especially funny because, as I understand it, your actual diet is a computer chip placed directly into the brain.
Yes, it overrides the brain's natural reaction to food. By measuring nutrient levels throughout the day, it keeps track of your caloric intake. Once you've reached your ideal limit, it replaces all sensations of taste with pain. Horrible, unbearable, relentless pain!
Yes, I've heard the sensation of eating under the influence of your diet chip is akin to having your most sensitive organs tossed into a wood chipper. Honestly, I always wondered why people didn't try this ages ago.
Most people just want to eat whatever they want and still be thin. That's rather like wanting to pull your face off and still be pretty. Even dogs with birth defects must know by now that the key to not getting fat is not eating tons of shit all the time. My system makes it easy. Since the chip cannot be removed, ever, we guarantee good health for the rest of your life. Because if you attempt to cheat your diet, you will experience suffering the likes of which man has never imagined.
So, could there be any long-term adverse effects of your treatment?
Well, we have noticed that after a couple of weeks, most of our patients panic and go into flashbacks every time they hear the word food. We figure this proves that our methods work. If they're terrified of eating, they won't overeat. So I hear your product is facing legal challenges in many regions. Yeah, some people can't tolerate the presence of anything that reminds them that they're animals, and that pain and pleasure control their actions. Also, the multi-billion-dollar diet fad industry, well, exists.
The sad thing is, you don't even need to say any more than that at this point.
They tried to prove that my product causes health problems and malnutrition and post-traumatic stress disorder and shit. When I pointed out that half of their statistics came from several years before my product was even released, they changed the subject without even skipping a beat, talking about the importance of government in safeguarding public health.
Ah, yes, good old professional bullshitters. When you prove a core point is false, they keep going as if it never happened.
And a lot of the senators bought it. Thankfully, they tried to attach legislation banning the diet chip onto a bill that also made it legal for farmers to take advantage of their livestock. Laws are like fetish websites. Everybody thinks they're all horrible and wrong, except the ones that cater to their own depraved urges.
Well, it's as the great Appalachian patriot Robar said, "The price of freedom is coexisting with that which you hate." Most mortals seem to think that if they don't like it, it's wrong, and if it's wrong, it's unquestionably wrong, because their instincts as to right and wrong are somehow placed in their hearts by God. Never mind that no two people can agree on their fundamental beliefs as to what's wrong, and they'll never admit the possibility that someone else is more divinely inspired and righteous than they are.
Is that why Clag Brazingi is atheist?
We're not atheist, if for no other reason than it's hard to deny the existence of God when you've still got his boot prints in your ass. We just don't subscribe to any existing religion. Ironically, though we make no specific attempt to do so, we still follow the vaunted Ten Commandments much better than most Christians. For example, our policy is that if you cite the Word of God as evidence for anything, you're automatically wrong no matter what you're trying to prove. Though most religious retards consider this heretical and hostile to their beliefs, it's almost directly in keeping with not just one but two of the commandments. Thou shalt not bear false witness, in this case bearing witness to a divine statement that never took place, and thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain, specifically by saying he believes things when in reality you have no way to know.
You've talked to God. What does he believe?
Actually, he's remarkably non-specific. As he tells me, the closest thing he has to a real rule is, love thy brother as thyself. Though, in my case, this led to a very lengthy debate about handjobs.
Remind me again, why aren't you in hell?
The ferryman owes me a lot of favors. I got him out of a rape charge one time.
The boatman of the River Styx raped somebody?
No, he didn't, but at a profit of 1 piece of silver per soul since roughly the beginning of time, he's got enough money to cause a lawyer to ejaculate his own lungs. All they had to do was use the he's a soulless demon from the underworld angle and gloss over the actual facts.
So what did you do?
We used our typical brutalizing pragmatism. We gave Todd citizenship on our planet. Incidentally, the ferryman's name is Todd. And then told the lawyers that we'd be expecting them to follow our prosecution procedures. Those procedures include the explicit statement that if they ever intentionally lead the jury to believe something that is false, regardless of the means they use to do so, they'll be tossed naked into the Maggotonian toddler pits with naught but a stone knife in their own terror to protect them. They became surprisingly ethical at that point and dropped their case. Anyways, that's it for the Maggott Show this week. Tune in next time or get a lawyer organ money shot sprayed all over